Welcome to our next video ELA lesson. Today's just going to be simply a review. We've already taken notes on both of the skills for the week. So I'm going to go over the notebook pages of the notes we've already taken on these skills, and we're going to talk about what the assignment is for today. So the target behind me says, I can describe the cause and effect relationships between events in a nonfiction text. So the skill of the week is cause and effect, specifically in nonfiction texts, so texts that are real. Second target says, I can define new words by using context clues. Pretty simple. The difference between typical practice of this is that today we're going to be working on nonfiction texts. So the words you're going to be defining are a little bit more dense, which means they're a little bit longer, maybe a little bit harder. So we're going to go over that skill as well. I'm going to show you the note pages that we've already taken on both of these skills, and then I will go over the cause and effect practice for today. All right, so the first skill, we'll do that 1 second. The first skill that we're reviewing today is cause and effect. We did this one back in April. We read a story, I believe it was about the space and the moon. I'm not entirely sure though. So basically what we're going to be working on is cause and effect with multiple events. So a lot of times in history and in science, so nonfiction, things that actually happened or are happening, there's a lot of cause and effects between multiple events, which means over several in a sequence. So to review, cause is the reason that something happened, and the effect is what happened as a result. This words as a result, you're going to be using in your practice page to show which one's the cause and which one is the effect. So for example, cause, it rained, so as a result, I used an umbrella. I used an umbrella, and as a result, the umbrella got wet. Okay, so you can remember this sequence of events. All right, and then the second target we're going to be working on today is context clues. So to remind you, context clues are clues that good readers use to find the meaning to unknown words. So remember that magnifying glass, we always be detectives to look for. Maybe there's going to be pictures in this one. That will be really helpful to help define new words. A lot of times there's helping words like, or, like, or as. Words that you know. If I know all of the words except for the one unfamiliar word, I can make an inference on what that word might mean. Maybe you look at examples or definitions, and then synonyms or antonyms. What are the same or opposite? So for the example we used this last time, it says, the tragic ending to the story made the woman cry. I said that I made an inference because if somebody's crying, I know that the ending of a story was probably sad, dreadful, or basically just not positive. So to show this a little bit more, I'm going to give you an example from your assignment today. So here's your assignment. The top part is on cause and effect. I've already done one for you. So they invented the submersible, and as a result, they were able to explore the ocean floor. Your job is to only reread the amazing adaptations on page 412. So it's just, it's not on there, just on one part, one section of the nonfiction text. And your job is to find those cause and effects. So write as a result on the effects side so I know that you know what that means. To go over the context clues, this one's going to need to be a little bit more in-depth than you have before. So the example I gave you was cylinder on page 411. I'm going to show you what they have in the book here. And then it will hopefully be a little bit more clear of what you should be looking for with the context clues. Let's see if it'll load for me. There we go. Okay. So find in the text. It says that we're going to be defining the word cylinder. It's right here. So I would find that on page 411. Reread that whole paragraph. So I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm going to go over what the think aloud is for the text evidence. It has no mouth, eyes, or stomach. Its soft body is encased in a white cylinder and topped with a red plume. It can grow to be 8 feet tall. It is a sea creature known as a giant tube worm, and it lives without any sunlight on the deep, dark ocean floor. So our job is to define what the word cylinder is. The think aloud says, I see the word cylinder. I'm not sure what cylinder means. Since the creature being discussed is called a tube worm, I think that a cylinder may refer to the tube around the worm. Reason why I agree with that statement is it says its soft body is encased in a white cylinder. So it's kind of encased means to go around. So if it's going around and it's in a tube, I can conclude that cylinder probably has something to do with being circular. Also, I said in my answer, and you can see this on the example, is that the word looks like the word circle. So that's kind of a context clue and root word strategy I use to define that. So your job is to find where these are, read the paragraph around it, and define it just like I did there. Okay? So again, we did those back in February. So if you wanted to look back on your page with me and use it as help, good luck with that. I think that you should be fairly successful on this activity. It's a really cool story. Nonfiction text learning about the ocean and the ocean floor and the animals that live there. So let me know if you have any questions, but I wish you the best of luck on this.